Hi you all, and welcome to my channel Overcoming Gluttony. My name is Alicia and I used to weigh 327 pounds. I will update you about my new weight in just a moment because today is Weigh-In Wednesday and we have a little bit of a different format than what we usually do. So on today's vlog, I will share with you what my new weight is, my non-scale victories for the week, also the lies that I've told myself this week, and I will also show you all of the bad food that I've eaten for this week. And since it is the end of the month, I'll also give you a bonus treat of how many inches I've lost during the month of March. So let's start off with my non-scale victories. Oh, wait, I forgot. Let me tell you that I am on a natural weight loss journey that I started since July of 2020. And my goal in losing weight is to actually gain a healthy lifestyle. And the way that I do that is by changing one or two behaviors each year that will help me to lose the weight, gain a healthy lifestyle, and keep the weight off. You know, sustainable weight loss. That's what I'm about. So for the year of 2023, the two goals that I added to my life is I want my breakfast to consist of 60 ounces of water plus 4 servings of raw vegetables. And I want to walk for an hour before I go to work. And I am glad to report to you all that I have successfully completed this goal 94% of the time. So woo, 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 way, or not way, but go me, go me, go me. So that is the success, that is the number that I'm focused on, is how often am I performing these behaviors, not whether or not I can lose 30 pounds in a month. I'm not focused on that. I'm not focused on how much weight I lose. I'm focused on how frequently am I, and excuse me, I've overwatered my plants, so I have a bunch of gnats in my home right now, and this light is attracting them, so I'm gonna try to ignore them as much as I can. So I am focused on how frequently I'm performing these behaviors, not necessarily how quickly I can drop the weight. So yeah, I've been doing this 94% of the time, and with that being said, my new weight is 260 pounds. So that means that I have gained 1 pound since last week. Sorry, y'all. That means I've gained 1 pound since last week. And I'm okay with that. Why am I okay with that? Because it's just 1 pound. It doesn't mean that I've actually honestly gained it. It could just be how my weight is fluctuating now during this time in my life. Another significant reason why I'm okay with the 1 pound gain as opposed to the loss is, like I said, due to the fact that I'm focused on how frequently I'm doing my goals. And then also for the month of March, I have lost 4 inches off of my body. So let me see. I need to go get my list. 1 second. Thank you for your patience. I made this list and then I forgot to bring it with me. So the 4 inches that I've lost off my body is I've lost 1/2 inch off my bust. I've lost 1 inch off of my waist. I've also lost 1 inch around my belly button and 1.5 inches off of my hip area. And so that's at least 4 inches off. Plus, for the month of March, I have lost 1 pound for the entire duration of March. Now, I know you might be confused. You might be saying, didn't you just say you gained a pound? Yeah, that was just from last week. But if we look at my starting weight, at the beginning of March, it was 261. And now my current weight is 260. So 1 pound loss and 4 inches lost. Hey, I'm happy with it. You know, I don't really want loose skin anyway, so I'm not really trying to drop a ton of weight really quickly. And I'm living my life as a normal person. That means I still eat fast food. I still have junk food. And speaking of which, let's just go ahead and show you the junk food that I've eaten this week. So for this month, for this past week, I've eaten $9 in junk food. Go me, super success. A few weeks ago, I ate $60 in junk food. And when I first started my weight loss journey, I ate over $100 in junk food. So yay. For some bizarre reason, lately, as of the past 2-3 weeks, I've been craving chocolate. Just once a week, I'll just crave some chocolate. I don't know why. I don't know where this is coming from. So I went into 7-Eleven, which is a convenience store, and I bought this chocolate chip cookie. It was 2 of them in here, and they were quite large. I bought this chocolate chip cookie, these 2 chocolate chip cookies that came in this package, for $1.39. It's called chocolate chunk cookie, and it was okay. It was really sweet, but it hit the spot that I wanted for the chocolate, so I enjoyed it. I would do it again because I don't want to buy something that has the potential for me to continuously keep eating it. Yeah, so that was $1.39. Then I did buy myself a churro. I feel like I'm narrowing down or coming to an end on how frequently I eat these because there's only one this week. And truth be told, when I ate this one, I didn't really enjoy it. So I'm like, this isn't really hitting the spot. And when you see what I'm about to show you in a minute, you'll understand why I won't continue to eat churros. Okay, so these are Top Ramen packages. What I grew up on, a version of my comfort food. This also ties into a lie that I've told myself this week that I'll share with you later. This has to do with a lie. So these things have gone up in price. I'm used to them costing 59 cents at a convenience store or something like that. Used to be 25 cents, but now they're $1 each. Like, what? $1. So each of these was $1. I got my favorite flavor outside of the chili flavored Maruchan Top Ramen noodles. But yeah, I got each of these. Why did I get these? This was on a day where I was needing to feel comforted. And on one of my vlogs, I heavily preached to you, if you will. I'm not a preacher or anything like that, but I was like, we should not eat comfort food. We should not go back to comfort food. Comfort food does not exist. It's not really comfort. And so on and so forth. And then in the same breath, I talked about how I use comfort food. But for me, it was permissible to use comfort food because I justified my use of this as comfort food because I was just saying that since I prayed before I ate it, like I was praying to God, I went for a walk, I tried to analyze my feelings, so therefore it was okay for me to eat the comfort food, which is not accurate. I was errant in that video. I was wrong. It is not justifiable for me to eat comfort food, even though I take many steps beforehand to try to prevent myself from eating the comfort food. It's not justifiable even if I still eat it. So I correct myself regarding that vlog. So what was going on was, I don't know why I was craving comfort food, but I was. And now I know why, but at the time I didn't know why. So at first I was like, let's have some of my favorite meal, which is the Singapore rice noodles. I really like that. Well, then I deduced that Singapore rice noodles really isn't healthy. What's the difference between my Singapore rice noodles and the top ramen? The only difference really is the price, and one is prepared for you at a restaurant, and the top ramen is cheaply made in some manufacturing plant. But either way, it's all bad for you. So I was like, why? And I'm sorry, y'all, these gnats. I bet you I won't be overwatering my plants anytime soon. So I deduced that it was okay for me to, now they're trying to attack me. I deduced that it was okay for me to have top ramen, and better to have top ramen than Singapore rice noodles because it's more affordable, and the place that delivers the Chinese food wouldn't be able to deliver it to me by the time I got home. And I don't use DoorDash and all that stuff because and Uber Eats and all that, because the food delivery people admit to eating your food. They'll, if you go online and type in food delivery people eating your food, you can read about how they're like, yeah, we occasionally nibble on people's food. So I only order food that's delivered to me from that restaurant because that restaurant themselves deliver the food, and I feel comfortable knowing that they're not going to eat my food because they get free food there, so they don't need to eat my food. So anyway, I got the top ramen after I had prayed to God about my feelings of, I guess you can say, anxiety and wanting to be comforted. And God told me, he was letting me know, hey, look at how far you've come. You're being ungrateful. You need to be grateful. And he let me know that gently. I also went for a walk to try to subside my feelings. And what I'll do in the future when I desire comfort food is I will wait 24 hours, because I found that the next day I was able to recognize why I wanted the comfort food. I couldn't recognize why I wanted the comfort food the day that I ate it. I didn't know what was going on with me. But the next day I realized, oh, the reason why you want the comfort food is because deep inside you're frustrated and a little stressed out about this different position in your company that you have, where I'm on my feet more. It's a little bit harder work. It's enjoyable, don't get me wrong. I like it, but it's just challenging, and I'm on my feet more, and it's a lot more stressful. It's not as laid back. So this was producing feelings of anxiety within me that I could not identify at the time. Something was wrong with me. I didn't know what. I tried to identify it, and I couldn't. But the next day, once all the smoke and the fog and the emotions had cleared, I was able to identify it. So last time I ate top ramen, besides this week, I had gotten sick. And I'm surprised that I didn't get sick this time. And my only concern about eating this is that it wasn't salty enough. Wasn't as salty as I remember it being. So would I eat these again? Yeah, I would, but not as comfort food, but just as food that, hey, maybe I want some top ramen. Is this a healthy choice? no, it's not a healthy choice for me. But, you know, at times I will eat Top Ramen because it brings back nostalgic feelings and it's affordable. And hopefully in the future, and sorry, I'm just trying to get these gnats away from me. So hopefully in the future, I will be able to just say, nah, I'm not eating no Top Ramen. That's not good enough for my body. And as time goes on, I will continue to break away from these feelings of nostalgia, and instead of eat certain foods because of nostalgic feelings, eventually I'll just make the best choice and eat foods that are beneficial and healthy and medicinal towards my body. Eventually. All right. Now for the other significant thing that I've eaten. Don't get mad at me. So you see this big old box here, this big old thing. So what happened was I got a food sample, 2 food samples of half of these cookies, right? And I was like, oh man, these are the cookies that I've been looking for. I once went to a catered event, and prior to the presentation at the event, they had cookies that look like this. They're called Palmiers. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I tasted these cookies and I tried really hard not to eat up like too many, but this was the star of the show. Even though they had all kinds of other hors d'oeuvres and other foods there, and they even had real food, like I don't know if it was chicken wings or what, but this was a while ago, like almost a year, maybe a year and a half ago. And this was the star of the show for me. And I have since gone to different places trying to find these. I've bought several of these types of cookies from Mexican food stores, and I tasted and I'm like, nope, that was not what I tasted that night at that event. And then when I got that sample food, I was like, oh my, they're here. This is the cookie. This is the cookie that I had that night at the event. And I asked a coworker, hey, do you have a card to shop here? Because you have to have a card to shop where you buy these, or at least where I was at that time. And it's a Costco card. And I was like, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, how about this? We need to go half on a case of these cookies on this size of a package of the cookies, right? He tasted the cookies. He didn't like it. So I just bought the whole case myself, this whole package. And I couldn't technically shop there, but I Zelled him some money, and then he bought it with his Costco card. See, somebody really wanted these cookies. And today is April 8th. It is Saturday, April 8th. And technically I should have recorded this video Tuesday, like April 4th or something like that. So I have been eating on these cookies since, I don't know, it's been about 4 or 5 days. I've only allowed myself to have 6 cookies a day, and I've stuck to that. And you might be like, girl, what are you talking about? You only allowed yourself 6 cookies. Well, yeah, normally this whole thing would be gone in 2 days. But now that I'm overcoming gluttony, this container is lasting 5 days. So, yeah, I don't know what day I zelled him the money, but I do know that I have been faithful at only eating 6 a day, which is quite an accomplishment. And they say 35 of them come in there, and I still have 2 left. So, yeah, that box or that container of cookies costs $5. No, $6, $5.99. So, yeah, and when I come home, I'm peaceful, and I don't find the need to have a churro. I don't have churros. And you'll be like, that's why you're not having churros, because you got that whole big old case of cookies. But, you know, yeah, you're right. So I don't feel like I'm going to continue to buy those on a regular basis because I have noticed my weight creeping back up and some things fitting a bit more tighter than usual. So I'm not going to continue that as part of my regular weekly purchase, but I will buy them here and there and give them as gifts because those cookies are really good. And as I am approaching the last day of having them, I'm noticing that the urge to want them has lessened. It's going lower and lower. All right, so now I told you the lie that I lied to myself about this week, which was about me justifying eating comfort food because I took several steps before eating the comfort food. And now for my non-scale victories for this week. So, excuse me if this video seems a little scattered with me batting gnats out of my face and just not really being as on point as I usually would. So my non-scale victories are, I noticed that my entire leg is slender for the first time. Normally I'll just notice that my thigh is slender or that my leg is, the bottom portion of my leg is slender, but this time when I was looking at my leg, I noticed the whole thing, the entire thing looks slender. Also, my belly button and my belly, I know I've reported on this for a few weeks, but it keeps getting higher and higher. And I'm like, hey, you want a free tummy tuck? Just lose some weight. You know, I'm in the mirror like, yeah, free tummy. So another thing is, when I was heavier, I've always been pretty much a flexible person, even at my largest weight. And so it's never been a problem for me to touch my toes. Very easy for me to touch my toes. Always. In PE in middle school, one of the very few areas that I would be awarded or praised for was my flexibility, because we used to have these little tests and stuff like that where you had to sit and stretch or do all these different things. So when I do bend over, when I would bend over and touch my toes when I was bigger as an adult, it would feel like there was a sack of organs that would just move when I bent over. And after like 3 seconds, it would start to hurt right here. Like a sack of organs would just shift. But I'm coming to find out that maybe that's not a sack of organs. Maybe it was just fat. And now I can touch my toes and stay there for a very long time without any problem. I don't know how long. I haven't timed myself, but I do know that I no longer feel that sack of organs, or which actually is more than likely just fat. I don't feel it move and shift when I bend over. I feel like I can probably stay bent over for 25 minutes and not have a problem, whereas before it would only be 3 seconds because of that sack that would move and just cause me pain. So the next let me see here. The next thing is, I've been wearing super duper 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 thick stockings. Like, they're not even stockings, they're more so like, they're not leggings because they're footed, but they're very thick. And I've been wearing these for the past few months because it's cold where I live, and it's even been snowing a few days. So now that it's warming up, I'm no longer wearing those stockings. And I notice that when I walk, my legs have a lot more freedom. Like, my thighs are not as smushed together. So now I have more space between my thighs. Instead of for them being like this, they're like this. And I don't have thigh gap or anything, and I'm not trying to accomplish thigh gap. But I noticed that it's a lot more easier for me to walk. Excuse me, I'm having some fenugreek water. 1 second. It's a lot more easier for me to walk, and I feel a lot more space between my legs when I walk, which I'm very, very grateful for that. It's like I'm gliding, you know? So it feels really good, and I'm happy, and I can walk faster and further, and it feels better. And it's a very constant encouragement about my success, just feeling like instead of for my legs constantly smushing, just feeling that airiness between them is fantastic, and it encourages me. I watched some of my videos on my channel. I watch myself, and I'm noticing that more and more of the refrigerator is showing. There's more white on the refrigerator that you can see instead of for seeing me just take up most of the screen. So yay, more refrigerator is showing. This is the first week that I've worn those boots that I showed you guys in my previous weigh-in Wednesday. The first week that I've worn those boots, and they were all the way zipped up. I bought those boots maybe 4 or 5 months ago and wouldn't wear them because they really couldn't zip up. They would just be on the floor, dragging on the floor, as opposed to being up to my knee where they belong. And now I've been wearing them zipped up all the way up to the knee comfortably. No pain, no stress, no tension or anything like that. Now when I squat, like I don't do squats for exercise, but I do need to squat occasionally at my job so that I can pull stuff and get stuff out and push stuff in. And I notice that when I squat now, I'm able to move my body a whole lot more without needing to hold on to something while in a squatted position, and do things like with my arms a whole lot more without falling or tipping back or anything. So I'm more balanced, and I can squat longer and actually breathe and move both arms without holding something for balance and do stuff. So that's an NSV that I've noticed. When I sit, like let's say if you're sitting on your knees, what does that mean? When you're kneeling down. So let's say if I kneel down and my rump is touching the back of my heels, normally it doesn't do that. Normally I have so much fat on my thighs and my calves that my rump is not touching my feet at all. It's just me kind of just being boosted by the fat on my thighs and my calves. So now my rear end can comfortably just rest on the back of my feet. My boss offered some rewards for us to participate in some activities, and she wanted to give me a chocolate and caramel egg, and I was like, no thank you, I'd just rather have a carrot. And she's like, carrots? I don't have any carrots. And I was like, yeah, no worries. But yeah, I declined, you know, the sweet treat for a reward. And my job had a meeting where a lot of people came together, and there was food available. And for the first time, I got to be that girl who just like, I'm just going to put fruit on my plate. No donuts, no bagels, no cream cheese, none of that. No pastries. I'm just going to have a fruit plate. And you might be like, Alicia, that's not significant. We see what you eat for breakfast every week. A fruit plate, that's just kind of like what you eat every week, except for fruit, you eat vegetables, you know? But here's the thing. This was my first time going somewhere, and they provide the food. And I choose just to have fruit as opposed to all that other junk stuff. Like for the bridal shower, yes, they provided the food, but I brought my own. Now, the difference is that I got to see all of the options that they provided us, and I was just like, from all these options, I will be the person that manages the fruit. I will have a fruit plate. Thank you very much. So yeah, that felt good. And then the last thing is I've been vegan I've been eating like a vegan for 3 full months now, and the benefits of it are amazing. My body is softer. There are parts of my body that instead of feeling like styrofoam, it now feels like jelly. So women are encouraged to give themselves mammograms every so often, and not an actual mammogram, let me change that. They're encouraged to give themselves a breast exam periodically, and I noticed that on multiple parts of my body, I feel so much softer, as opposed, like jelly as opposed to styrofoam. And I think that that is because of me not eating meat and dairy. And you know, it feels great. I'm very happy about that. And when I say styrofoam, just imagine the thick type of styrofoam that your refrigerator or your washer and dryer was packaged in, or something, you know, you open up a package and they have that thick styrofoam. That's what parts of my body used to kind of feel like, but now it's so much softer, just like jelly. Yeah, so here we are. Here we are. It's the end of Weigh-In Wednesday. Thank you for being patient. I know that I was supposed to record this video. Let's see. Today is Saturday. I was supposed to record it Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, 4 days ago. But thank you for your patience. I will be caught up, I'm hoping, Lord's will, with all of my videos. I only have like 2 extra ones or 3 extra ones to do by this weekend, and hopefully will continue to stay on track with me vlogging daily. I greatly appreciate your patience, and I just want to let you know I am taking good care of my health, and it is showing. And thank you so much for being with me on this journey. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.